I'm in shock after watching episode 7 of season 10 of AMC's The Walking Dead. It took me a minute to digest what happened in that ending, because I'm just like, why is he looking at him? What's happening? And then as soon as Sadiq stopped moving, that's when it clicked. And I said, hold up. Now it all makes sense. I'm Sage Valentine, for those of you who don't know. I've been uber super duper busy, which is why I'm completely behind in these reviews, and I'm gonna get episode 4 and 6 done this week so that I'll be in time for episode 8, which is the mid-season finale. If this episode was any indication, it's that the writers have decided to make their own rules. I say this because at this point in the comics, if you don't like comic spoilers, definitely plug your ears or stop watching, because I'm going to talk about it. And on this channel, I talk about the comics to explain it to those who want to hear it. So it is what it is. At this point in the comic book, Sadiq is alive and well. So once again, the show decided to kill a character that's alive in the comics. I've had my theories over the years about why the show decided to do what they've been doing. Why they've decided to kill some characters, keep some characters alive. Why they created characters like Daryl and Merle and Enid and all these characters that are not in the comics. But everything, in my opinion, is meticulous, and everything is done on purpose as far as the writing is concerned. The thing about it is that in killing Sadiq, there could be so many meanings as to why they killed Sadiq. Me, I think they killed off Sadiq because that PTSD storyline was only going to last but so long, because there's only so much they could do. Also, the fact that it seemed at one point that Sadiq was not able to truly live with himself, and at one point he was going to commit suicide. I mean, there was so many different meanings running through my head. I don't know about you guys, leave me some comments, but my head. In killing Sadiq and doing this, I feel like they have changed the storyline on the show, as if the storyline could be changed anymore, on top of the fact that now we have reached that point once again where any character can drop. Because who would have thought that Sadiq would be the character to die? I know I didn't. I've been looking at Carol all season like, what the hell's going to happen to Carol? So many people want her to battle with Alpha. I'm kind of freaked out about that. I'm like, is she going to survive? And especially now that Sadiq died, is she going to survive? We don't know. Like, you could sit and say, well, this happened in the comics, so it happened on the show, but they have been remixing and twisting things now as far as those storylines, where they still run the same way, but they change the different events and some of the outcomes, like the heads on the pikes. Those were not the heads that were on the pikes. Like, not all those people died in the comics. I think Tammy Rose was one of them that stuck out to me, and she died in the comics. The rest of them were either created or they were switched out for other characters. Then there's this whole thing with Christian Serratos, who was cast in the Selena biopic miniseries that's coming to Netflix. So that makes me wonder, like, what's going to happen to Rosita? Is Rosita going to die? Is she going to get killed off? Is she getting somebody's death from the comics we haven't seen? Like, I'm trying to figure all of that out. Then, on top of that, we still have to deal with the whole Michonne, Denai Guerrero leaving, and you gotta wonder, are they gonna kill her off, or are they going to have somebody come and snatch her up and send her with Rick? I mean, they could do anything at this point. So I saw a tweet on my Twitter page where this guy was saying that he was traumatized, like he's never been traumatized by this show in years. I'm not even traumatized. I'm just like, I don't believe that this happened. Like, this is crazy. But then people said, leading up to this episode, those who saw the episode early, not just on AMC Premiere, but the journalists who were able to see it, the bloggers and such, they said that it was a pretty traumatizing episode, and it was. You didn't know what the hell was going to happen to Sadiq at that point. Another crazy thing that happened in this episode was the idea, it's a continuation of episode 6, where it was the idea of Carol to take that savior and bring him to Alexandria, only for Sadiq to kill him with hemlock. We don't know if it was done on purpose or not. Well, I should say allegedly, because that could have been Dante who did it, so that whisperer wouldn't say anything, and then make it seem like it was Sadiq, so Sadiq would think he was going crazy. I think you know where I'm going with that one. Then there's also the storyline with Gamma and Aaron. And at first, when we met Gamma, I thought that Gamma was going to turn on Aaron when she first met him. But I also thought that Gamma was a very dark and heartless character. There are more layers to the onion that is Thora Birch. I say onion, Thora Birch's character, Gamma, so to speak, because outside she has this crust around her, whereas she is like hardened and she is all here for Alpha, but inside she is just mushy and crumbling. And when she finds out in this episode that Lydia is alive, it changes the way she thinks about Alpha. Now, the way that the storyline is set up, there is a certain way that Alpha's storyline comes to an end. It involves one particular character, but on the TV show, it could involve a couple different characters at this point. It could be Carol and Gamma and Negan all together. Or her people could turn on her. I don't know what these writers are doing at this point. And I say this not to say it negatively. Like, I'm serious. I don't know what they're doing. I'm like, how is this all going? But they seem to know where they're going. Despite the fact that some fans are a little iffy about it, these writers seem to know where they are going. As far as Gamma and Aaron, they seem to have a connection. Gamma's trying to fight that connection and save face in Alpha's face, basically. And the thing about it is that that's also where, when Gamma's with Aaron, that's where she shows like her more human and mushy side. Because Alpha basically has these people in a cult. And I don't think people caught the reference, but in this episode, when the folks are gathered by Negan's cell, and I think it's Daryl, I think Sadiq, Dante, and I think Carol's there, and probably Father Gabriel, although I think that Dante and Sadiq weren't there, but let me know if I'm wrong about Dante and Sadiq. But when that one whisperer says that he would take Carol like a bitch in heat, that is a nod to the comics. It is a storyline they have not touched on. It is something that Lydia has been beaten around the bush about, and it is a storyline, or a portion of a storyline, that makes the whole wife situation with Negan look tame. That's as far as I'll go with that. Then you have this thing of Carol's vendetta, and Carol decides to take Lydia, and she was going to basically use Lydia to kind of turn some of the whispers against Alpha, and that leads to Gamma's come to Jesus moment. There's also that sickness that reminds me a lot of the sickness that they had at the prison, but it seems even worse, much worse than that sickness. And that nice lady, she died. Rosita's really sick, but that doesn't mean that she's gonna die. So I think I covered everything as far as this episode. Yeah, I'm still stuck on the Sadiq thing. I'm still like trying to come to terms with that. If I left anything out, leave it in the comments and let me know. I just need to gather my thoughts because I'm completely blown away by that. I'm just like, there's no words. I mean, I had just finished watching The Watchmen, and each one of those episodes, they leave me shocked at the end because it's made by the same creator of The Leftovers and Lost and such. But with The Watchmen, the way that episode just came together and ended had me in shock. So I was going to watch Ray Donovan, then I said, no, I'm going to sit and watch Walking Dead because I saw that one tweet from one of my Twitter friends. And now I know what he meant. And I'm traumatized. Yeah. So let me know what you're thinking. This is pretty much my review for episode 7. I'm looking for the mid-season finale, and looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm not going to be talking about Walking Dead too much this week. Yeah. Traumatized me. I'm just don't want to talk about it. Kind of reminds me of Power when Raina died. And I really didn't want to talk about it. No. I think we're yeah. It's pretty rough. Pretty rough. But anyway, like I said, leave me some comments below. Let me know how you're feeling. The other reviews will be up for 4 and 6 because I need to go back and watch those. But yeah. Walking Dead is crazy this season. I'm still tuned in and I'm looking forward to the other series. But yeah. All right, guys. It's probably like 11 something, 12 something. I just wanted to do this and I will see you guys later. Peace. Sage Valentine out.